Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl Hutto, as most of you know by now, and I am really excited to have with me today a special guest, Ruby Aver. And Ruby is my Kung and Tai Chi sword teacher, and we talk so much about energy and breath work and ways to calm the nervous system. And so, welcome, Ruby. Thanks for being here.
You, Cheryl. How
Uh,
fun.
Yes, this is great. Let's start with a little bit of who you are, where you are, and maybe how you came to your current practice. So tell us a little bit about you, Ruby.
Um, well, I live in Housatonic. I've been here in Housatonic for 25 years. And I trained with my husband, my late husband, Jihan Tung, in the Netherlands, where we had lived for 20 years. Um, he was a Qigong and Tai Chi master. So I had the privilege of learning very close to the source in a beautiful lineage.
Excellent. And you had been a dancer in before that, right?
Yes, in the Netherlands. So it was after I retired that I studied with him and had a daily training. And it was just wonderful. And I really enjoy bringing that work, making it demystifying, making it truly anatomically friendly, and that anyone at any age can enjoy. So, because that is how it's used in the East, so you see people in their 90s practicing Tai Chi and Qigong. So we can adjust the movement and the breathing, tailor make it so everyone's comfort level. Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, I for one love your classes, as you know, and tell us a little bit. This is just out of curiosity. Tell us a little bit about the sword, and that was really uh, centuries ago, but created for women, right?
I believe that women were the first to be using the Chinese sword techniques because the fist forms, they did not have the power. So that's from what I understood. Um, and I just really enjoy the grace and the beauty of the sword when the movements are slow and meditative. It's really fascinating, actually.
Right, right. Uh, and when we were talking about this in some of our prior conversations, I'm hoping that caregivers get a handle on this and understand that what can happen about their energy level. And we talked about delegating energy, but you yourself have been a caregiver as well, and you still go out and help young mothers, right? You help caregivers.
Well, and I have private students who are also in their 80s. So um, it's kind of using universal principles for breathing to bring ease into everyone's movement capacity. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and what about did Qi Kung and Tai Chi when you were caring for your husband? I'm sure that was a big part of helping you probably stay, because we get so wired and so.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, it slows the thinking down. And when we can connect our mind with our body, um, the thinking can calm, and it's not like a runaway train. So it does de-stress us. Mhm.
absolutely. Uh, and so one of the things that I've always wondered about, Ruby, and you help me understand this, but others too. I mean, we hear so much about this word chi. Could you talk a little bit about chi?
Mhm. Um, Qi, basically it's energy, which we all are familiar with that term. Some days we have more energy, some days less, sometimes more in the morning or afternoon. It's different for everyone, and every day is different, our energy levels. And given that particular day, when we're in touch with our energy levels, so we're sensing our chi, it's not so difficult to notice. We notice when we need to sit down all of a sudden. We know our chi, our energy is low. So then we understand how we can better delegate that energy throughout the day, that we're not drawing on reserves. Mm.
So what, right, and one of the things that happens for, well, all of us, but as you know, I work and support caregivers and care partners, and I think it's really hard when we're ratcheted up to really even have an awareness of when we need to sit down. So what could we, how could we bring this? So Tai Chi and Qigong is another form of mindfulness, and how can we encourage others to say, okay, what's my energy level today? What's my chi? How can I really understand where I'm at? Any kind of tips there?
I think just really paying attention. We all get the signals. We're in the grocery store and in the middle of shopping, we feel a dip and we realize, oh, I'm tired today. And as opposed to ignoring that, really taking that to heart and seeing that we have to plan the day a little better, and not throw our energy around. Um, so we really do know, but we kind of override it. Yeah,
Yeah, we override it,
yeah.
and we override it. So one of the things then, that has been so helpful for me in your classes is this idea of not overriding it and making even, and be the first to say I don't practice enough, but it does help my body remember where am I in space. That's one thing. And
Mm,
if I can remember where I am in space, then I'm more apt to understand not just where I am in space, but then how do I feel about that space that I'm in?
hmm.
Breathing and using the breath. And so the Qigong and the Tai Chi is really riding the breath. And one of the things you do in your class is we, we, we bring Qi in and then we also let old Qi go.
Mm,
I love that sort of recycling of our energy to see if we can
right.
bring more fresh energy in when we need it.
Hmm. And really letting go of tension is a big, big part of the practice. And sometimes when we let go, we notice that we're actually more tired than we had realized because we were contracted and running on adrenaline. So the release work, it really helps us to get into this Tai Chi state. It's um, a state where there is the equilibrium that you're capable of at that moment. And once we have that reference, then we start to notice when we're really going way off balance. We start, and we can, because we start to sense what our home base is. Mm-hmm.
Right, right. And so as with anything, it's a practice, right? What we can. I loved what you said the other day when we were talking about this recording. We talked about you mentioned like asking yourself at the beginning of a day, how can I have this be a good day?
Yeah, yeah. That's a really tough one when you're dealing with people who are seriously ill or they're not improving. Um, and how maybe it's not the whole day, but how to have some moments in the day that you could say, well, that really made my day, that moment. And it can be just, sitting outside and you get quiet enough to notice the sound of the birds or the butterfly or the child at play. And it can be a half minute long, but it can make your day a good day, uh, that you get that good feeling of vitality and positivity, optimism, life. Uh, yeah,
The, the life force, the chi. So
yeah.
when we're able to take that break and say, all right, look around, how can I have a good day? And if we can pick one little thing out, we automatically, I would think, increase that chi and increase that because energy is positive, or it's coming in new and fresh and vibrant, or
Hmm.
we're exhausted and it's draining out, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's
Hmm.
lovely.
And can just allow ourselves to, it doesn't matter what brings you joy. Um, if we can allow ourselves that, then we have a little more joy to bring to whoever we're taking care of as well.
Right, right. Uh, Absolutely. That's right. So that and I always say this to care partners, if we can truly care for ourselves, then we have a much better chance at being the caregiver that we truly are intending to be.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
Um, well, this is really great. Oh, so what if people can't? I'm fortunate. I know that you don't have online classes, so that people watching this can't sign up and do an online class, which
Not,
is interesting, by the way. Why is that, Ruby? I know that you have
it's
strong
just at
opinions.
the moment it hasn't been working schedule wise, and
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, but I have group classes and private students, and I really want to make sure that I also delegate my energy throughout the week. I was teaching online for a while, but it was a little much. I think there was some overdose of that during the pandemic first year, but yeah, it may come about again. Um, but otherwise, should we try one standing movement and then,
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
okay, let me fix this. Um, these off. So, most important, and you can do it any moment, even if you're in the grocery store, is to feel the bottom of your foot soles. And as soon as you're feeling the bottom of your foot soles, the body starts to calm down. And the thinking slows down. Because we're not spinning in our mind, we're climbing back into the body, connecting the body with. So we can try that, feeling the bottom of the foot soles and releasing softly through our knees. As I say, that can be at any moment, and it may just be 2 seconds that you do that, but it gives you a reference. Then later you may notice that you need to get back into that home base. And then we just experience hanging from our crown with the upper body nice and loose. And we can picture roots growing out of the bottom of our foot soles deep into the earth. When we breathe in, we breathe fresh energy up through the roots, which allows our knees to straighten a bit. We breathe out and the knees bend. So we breathe up through our roots and we breathe out back. And the old energy can be recycled, breathing up through the deep roots, breathing up through our legs as if our feet are two big nostrils. We can discharge old energy. So we're going just up and down on this vertical axis, which allows the body to center. And then we can add a wave to it, breathing up, hands floating up, breathing out, hands settling our energy right down. Breathing in. And exhale, the knees bending, pulling the upper body down. So the lower body becomes strong and stable, and the upper body goes for the ride. And then we'll settle ourselves right down for a closing, breathing in just under the chest and settling our energy down like putting a baby to sleep. Yeah, I think that's the most important of all the practices we do. We do a lot of movement, but I find this the most important for our daily practice.
And right, if we can even take 20 seconds and feel the soles of our feet.
Yeah.
growing those roots and connecting with the earth.
That's right. Mm. And that thereby we connect our mind with the body. Often when we have a lot of stress, we're not feeling our body at all.
Right. Absolutely right. And that's circling back to that. That's when we don't know even when we're tired.
Right, exactly.
But if we can
Mhm.
feel our feet on the floor just and connect with the earth, we can get a better sense like, how am I today? Not how can I have a good day, but how am I? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a way of taking inventory. And then once you do that, you can see what will make balance for yourself, what's possible within the structure of the day,
Right.
and make it a better day. Mhm.
Oh, Ruby, thank you so much. And I will, uh, local people are, of course, invited to come and you teach year round in the late afternoons. And can I say your email here or would you like
Sure.
to post it later? Go ahead, say what it is, Ruby.
Oh, RDAV as in Victor, the number two at gmail.com.
Okay, excellent. RDAver2 at Gmail. And Ruby's in Housatonic, Massachusetts. So if you're local, I can't encourage you enough to be in touch. And Ruby, thank you so much for being here today and sharing this with us.
Thank you, Cheryl, so much for the invitation. It's my pleasure. I like to encourage people to check out the Facebook page. There's a couple videos, just some comments and information that may be useful or that you may enjoy. Um,
And,
and
and your Facebook page is
moving with change.
perfect. Thank
Hmm?
you so much. All right. Well, thank you again. And yes, we're going to check out your other videos. They are beautiful. I know they are. Thank you,
So,
Ruby.
bye now.